Becoming You show with me, your host, Leah Rowling. Do you believe you are capable of choosing your future? Sometimes it takes just one person to believe in you, or you to believe in yourself. If you find yourself continuing to say, someday I will take better care of myself, only to continue living the same day over and over and over again, then you, my friend, are in the right place. I am your biggest cheerleader, inspiring you to become you on purpose and with intention. Are you ready to create a life you love? I'm excited to share with you some big ideas that you can use today to inspire, impact, and influence your life and everyone in it. The Becoming You show starts now. Hello, my friends. How are you? How is the start of your year? I want to know what are you looking to accomplish? Who are you looking to become? For me, my invitation to myself in every decision and in every choice is, what would love do? What would love do? I'll tell you, my new year provided me with a lot of curriculum. Travel does that for me sometimes. We had a beautiful trip. We went to Puerto Vallarta, and that's kind of where we always go. And it was awesome. And also, as life has it, right, full of opportunity. Right? When you are surrounded by people navigating the world from fear, right? This requirement, this one asking, what would love do, requires a tremendous amount of courage. It requires the very shift, right? That we are going to support those of you that are doing this with us this year. The shift, right? That shift is moving from judgment to acceptance, moving from external power to internal power, moving from discouragement and frustration to seeing beyond the personality of the human and into the soul. This was my commitment this year to myself and to the world. And travel became my school, my opportunity to be less concerned about what was mine or theirs. You see, when we were there, people had taken our pool chairs. They had taken our towels. They had taken our sunscreen. And it was so fascinating how my brain quickly went from judgment of their entitlement to do that, right? To entitlement of my own on how I deserve to be treated and how this vacation was supposed to go. And this entitlement stole my joy. It stole my ability to connect, to show love, to be loved, spread love. And I was quickly reminded about my New Year declaration to myself and others. What would love do? What would love look like? How was I going to be love? Prior to this year, for probably years, if not decades, before I got out of bed, I thought about all the things that I wanted to do, right? My 3 priorities of the day, the 3 people that I wanted to connect with, and anything else that I wanted to do that day, not just for myself, but for my family and for my business. But what did I want to do? And it was so interesting as I came into the new year with this intention, how that question no longer set me up for the experience that I desired. Instead of asking what I needed to do and for whom, I now need to ask myself, what does love look like for me today? How do I show up in love today? That was required to start my day from a place of connection and compassion and grace. And had I not, I would have let some borrowed Barcelo towels and shares and a $20 bottle of sunscreen rob me of experiences with my family and discount the lesson that the school of travel wanted me to learn. And that is the emotional awareness degree program, right? Getting our master's in emotional awareness is one of the two components of authentic power. And I believe that it is what is required for your breakthrough this year. And that is what we're going to talk about. That is what we're going to talk about. I am doing a keynote workshop next week on breaking free to break through. And one of the areas of this deserved freedom is emotional freedom. I like to use the analogy of clutter to make it more applicable. And although I do think that more attention is being given to the feeling body, right? We have a long, long way to go to shift our consciousness from one of a 5-sensory human to one of a multi-sensory human, one that isn't limited to what they can see, smell, taste, touch, and hear, but one that they can experience, one that they can feel. You guys, I was doing a workshop on this, and every time I say that, every time I say the shift from being a 5-sensory human to a multi-sensory human, I am just dumbfounded at the fact that feeling is not a primary sense. How is that possible? How is it possible that feeling, emotions, the very thing that either empowers us to do what we do or disempowers us to do what we want to do, isn't a primary sense? It's no wonder. It's no wonder that we are challenged in this life navigating to what we really want in our life. Because I will propose that what we really, really want in this life is scary. And if we don't know how to navigate this life being scared, feeling as a not a 5 primary sense, we will not live it at all. So I know for me personally, I spent decades navigating squarely in the fence of this 5-dimensional box, right? Thinking that my joy and my fulfillment and my pleasure and my frustration was outside, right? It was outside of the box, outside of the fence. Finding myself in a constant state of achievement with the hopes that accomplishing was the price to play in this life, right? To be seen in this life, to be worthy in this life, to belong, right? I overdid, I overshot, I overran my shoes and my credit card to underfeel, to escape this gnawing feeling that I should be doing something different, something more with my life. You know, the nudge, right? That intuitive knowing, which also is a sense, but it's not one of the primary senses. It's a 6th one. It's like an add-on. And I will challenge anyone that 6th sense, that intuition, that intuiting nature and feeling, they're far more powerful than we give credit to. But all of this denial, right? All of this this buffering of my emotional experience, right? Because I'm too scared and I don't know what to do with that frightened part of my life, created a ton of overspending, a ton of overrunning, a ton of overconsuming, a ton of overworking, over hustling. And all of that overage created massive amounts of what I'm going to share with you today. And that is clutter. I've talked a lot in prior episodes about clutter. I think I've broken down clutter by all the different aspects of clutter. Behavioral clutter, relational clutter, temporal clutter, physical clutter, but I'm going to bring it to you today in what I hope is a little bit different, a little bit more profound, a little bit deeper. And so if you're new to me, you might want to go back and search clutter in my lists of podcast topics to kind of explore and kind of get the foundation for what it is that I want to talk to you guys about. Because most people, when they think about clutter, they think about the stuff, all the physical stuff, all the excess paper, shoes, coats, socks. It's all the stuff that leaves you feeling that your work is never done. It reminds you of your excessive consumerism. It reminds you of more you have to organize and more bins that you have to buy to get organized. And in our quest for simplicity, we overcomplicate with yet more stuff. And again, that's just one layer of clutter. I teach multiple aspects of it. And all of these clutter areas, they rob us of the same 4 things, right? And I used to teach that they rob us from our health. They rob us from our wealth, right? They rob us from deeper connections, right, in our relationships. And they rob us from the very growth that we speak. And I talk about all of those in the podcasts in previous episodes. But today, I want to introduce kind of a new, more profound, multidimensional aspect. Yes, our vitality. Yes, our energy. Yes, right? Our joy. Yes, does it rob us from our money, our wealth, and our success? Does it rob us of our time and relationships? Yes. But it keeps us trapped in the fence. And clearing the clutter allows us to shift into what I believe we as humans all want, which is authentic power. That's what I believe we want. We want a harmonious existence where our soul and our personalities align with the very best of who it is that we are, the most loving aspect of who it is that we are. We want part of this authentic power is in the co-creation of what we put out into the world. I believe that most of us are consumed by our consumption. And not that I don't want us to consume, good, awesome podcasts and courses and things for our growth and our development. But I also want us creating just as much, putting out our gifts and our genius out into the world in a way that aligns with the best, again, of who it is that we are. Giving. I think we all want to be more charitable, more giving, more gracious. And ultimately, this year, I want to invite you all to life itself. I want this podcast to be an invitation that you all open up. And you don't just open it up and see, oh, this is an invitation to my life. I want you to open it up with great joy and great enthusiasm and great gratitude that you get this life, you get this breath, you get to do today. And I don't want you just RSVPing that you'll show up. I want you declaring it. I want you committed to it. And the podcasts of this year are all going to be around that theme, that invitation to your life. And so I want to talk about all of the clutters that rob us of these paths to that life of fulfillment over one of achievement and accomplishment. But the one that I'm going to share with you today is the one on emotional clutter. I believe truly that this one, more than any other, robs us from truly living life all out with the love and compassion and the collaboration that is available to us. But it's denied to us by the presence of fear. Now, most of us are just not that emotionally aware. Most of us have a very limited emotional vocabulary. Sad, mad, glad, happy, depressed, anxious. Most of us think we feel, but we don't. We distract. Why do we distract? Because we are scared to live our own life. Harmony is not available because of the judgments we have. Co-creation is not available because we are competing in consumption and not collaborating in creation. Giving is typically under the guise of doing good, but our egos require something in return. Giving, therefore, then looks like pleasing against our own will and then becoming bitter when the world doesn't show up for us in kind. Life itself is diminished because we've been taught that there are good and bad feelings and that we should disregard the bad ones, sweep them under the rug, right? Find them away so that we can fully embrace the good ones. But that doesn't work, my friends. Trust me, I have tried that. You probably have as well. You see, until we learn how to experience the full spectrum of feelings, it is impossible to experience the full spectrum of living. And to be perfectly clear, I am not suggesting indulging in your feelings. Indulgence and experience are completely different ways to navigate our emotions. Emotional clutter is not negative emotions. Emotional decluttering is not clearing out and minimizing your emotional experiences. Emotional decluttering is awakening to the wisdom of the underlying feeling that most likely have been left unfelt. It is examining all of the emotions, especially the ones that you have historically escaped. Feelings like resentment and bitterness and anger and temptation and jealousy. These emotions are all just unmet, unfinished conversations that you have ignored or dismissed. And rather than going in to examine and study, we go out. We project and blame the world outside of us and wonder why we don't make any progress. These emotions are gifts. They are opportunities for our spiritual development. And when we lean in and embrace these feelings, they inform our growth, our capacity to love more completely, to live more fully, and to expand into the realms of new consciousness. Emotional decluttering is not clearing these emotions from our existence as we would with like papers and shoes and sweaters. Rather, it's a deeper level of awareness as we challenge the fear and cultivate the love. Because how can we challenge what we are not aware of? Right? Think about when you declutter your closets, right? Professionals that do this say that you should take all likes and put them together. So you would gather up all of your shoes and you would look at them all, not judge them all, not hide them all. That completely contradicts what you're trying to do. You've got to examine all of them, which means you've got to put them all out there for you to see. So let me ask you where you are with your emotional awareness, right? So I want you to kind of think and rank each question on a scale from 1 to 10. One being I have lots of clearing opportunity, AKA lots of room for awareness and development in this area. And 10 being I am free and clear of this aspect of my emotional awareness, right? I have tremendous emotional awareness. I have tremendous emotional responsibility, okay? So how well do you manage your emotions? How aware are you of the gift and opportunity that your emotions are for your spiritual development? How aware are you in navigating and experiencing your emotions so that you don't project them on other people? right? So one, lots of opportunity there to allow myself to actually feel and embrace all the emotions and not to project my emotions onto other people. Okay. How aware are you of your temper? How quick are you to do so? Right? Do you react or do you respond? How often do you find yourself getting defensive or avoiding situations or people? How often do you find yourself anxious and worried and discouraged and frustrated and annoyed throughout the day? How often do you just say fine when you're not fine at all? I truly believe that emotional awareness and navigating the lessons within each feeling is what is required. It's what is required. And if you want help and if you want support, shifting from the frightened parts of your personality that are rooted in unfelt emotions, and you want help feeling them so that you can shift to a different level, a different experience, one that is harmonious and congruent, one that is in co-creation and in collaboration with other humans, one that is giving freely, lovingly, abundantly, and one that invites you back into the life that you deserve to live. I want you to be with us in Shift this year. It is an incredibly inexpensive way to navigate all of these areas where clutter steals your time, your joy, your money, your health, and this new aspect of living, these new multi-dimensional ways to live in this world. We want you in there. We want you to experience your personal growth and your spiritual development this year. And I don't want it to be random. I want this curriculum for you to be laid out so that you don't even have to think about it. So if you are interested in being with us this entire year, we're going to shift. We're going to tap into new realms of consciousness that I promise you, you didn't even know existed. Because what I know for sure is navigating the world in this way is incredibly freeing. Stepping into the authentic power that is rightfully yours and deserving is your birthright. And I want you to be in there this year with us. Selfishly, I want you in there because I want to see you. I want to interact with you. I want to coach you. I want to enroll you into your potential. And what else is true is you have gifts. You have gifts, and there is such great learning opportunity when we do it socially, when we do it together. And I just want to bring everyone to you because you are beautiful and you are amazing and you are incredibly awesome. And I want you in that group. I want you in Shift with me this year and with all of us. So if you have thoughts or questions or need more information on it, you can see the link in the show notes. You know how to find me. Choose you. Choose that next level of consciousness for yourself this year. Make 2024 be your breakthrough year. And the only way that we're going to be able to do that is by breaking free from all of these clutter areas that keep us stuck and rob us of the potential of who it is that we are. Have a beautiful and amazing one, everyone. Take care. See you next time. Bye-bye. You have been listening to the Becoming You show with me, your host, Leah Rolling, where I share big ideas to inspire, impact, and influence your life. Tune in every Friday at 11 Central on transformationtalkradio.com for your morning cup of coffee, the hug you never want to end, and that inspirational message that you felt was written just for you. Each show is inspiring you to become you with purpose and intention. For more information or to connect with me, visit www.leahrolling.com.